Teen mom Jace Evans says Jenelle lied to cops, shares his truth. Jace Evans is sharing that his mother, former Teen Mom star Jenelle Evans, lied to the cops and is spilling his truth. She recently called the police on her son, stating he was destroying her home. Yet what really happened during this incident? Keep reading for more details. Jace Evans says Jenelle lied to cops, shares his truth. Jenelle Evans was not fit to be a mother, so she turned over custody of her son, Jace Evans, when he was a baby. This all played out in the early days of Teen Mom. Her mother, Barbara, went on to raise him until he was 13, and then Jenelle regained custody. She married David Eason and had 2 other kids, Kaiser and Ensley. Things became a struggle, and Jace ran away 3 times, blaming his stepfather. He went back with Barbara, but was returned to his mother a short time later. Jenelle left David, and the hope was that she was prioritizing her kids. She even moved them to Las Vegas for a refresh. Unfortunately, she called the police on Jace when he destroyed the home months back. Allegedly, that happened again over the weekend, and she pleaded with cops to put him on a 72-hour involuntary hold. They declined, and on the police recording, Jace can be heard screaming that his mom was lying. Now he has come out with his truth, and it is nothing but hurt and abandonment. Jace shared a handful of screenshots, talking about being depressed, his mother not seeing his potential, and a mom throwing a kid out only to report them as missing. Seeing this broke Teen Mom fans' hearts, as they have long felt Jenelle Evans puts herself first. He also posted more heartbreaking images, where he felt no one cared about him. As for Jenelle, she was allegedly complaining about how she is always in fight or flight, while working on her OnlyFans content. Teen Mom fans are over Jenelle. Save Jace. Jenelle Evans was fired from Teen Mom in 2019, then welcomed back in 2024 after she left David Eason. MTV has since stopped filming with her, and fans are happy about this. Furthermore, they are over her and want to save Jace desperately. They want to let him know he is worthy of love, and that it is not his fault that his mother is the way that she is. Of course, some fans felt his grandmother, Barbara, needed to step up and help him. Many just wanted to hug him and let him know that he was okay. Hopefully, his cries are heard sooner rather than later, and they both can get help. For years, fans of Teen Mom 2 watched as Jenelle Evans tried to raise her son Jace in the turbulent shadow of addiction, custody battles, and controversial relationships. But now Jace Evans, no longer the small boy fans remember, is speaking out in a voice that's all his own. At 16, with clarity and quiet courage, Jace is pulling back the curtain on the life he says was filled with more chaos than cameras ever captured. I didn't want to stay quiet anymore. Jace begins, his voice firm but calm in a dimly lit room for a sit-down interview with a small, independent podcast that focuses on mental health and teen empowerment. His hooded sweatshirt bears the logo of his new high school football team, a sign that he's trying to move forward. But his words show he still carries the weight of his past. People think they know everything because they watched it on MTV. But there's so much that never made it to air. And some of what did wasn't even the truth. He's referring specifically to the most recent and troubling incident that thrust him back into headlines. The night he went missing from Jenelle's home and was found hours later by police, shaken and silent. At the time, Jenelle told officers that Jace had snuck out, upset over not being allowed more time on his phone. But Jace now says that wasn't true, and that his disappearance was a desperate cry for help. She told the cops I was just acting out, that I was being a rebellious teenager. Jace says, eyes focused on the floor. But she lied. That's not why I left. He shifts in his chair, the silence hanging heavy before he continues. I left because I didn't feel safe there. Things were being said to me, screamed at me, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I had to go. When asked directly if he was referring to David Eason, Jenelle's controversial husband, Jace nods slowly. Though he doesn't go into graphic detail, his words paint a picture of a household ruled by fear. There were times I just stayed quiet because I thought if I said the wrong thing, it would start a fight. Not just yelling, but doors slamming, things being thrown, threats. And when I tried to talk to my mom about it, she'd either deny it happened or tell me I was exaggerating. Jace says the turning point for him came not in a moment of violence, but in a moment of silence. When, after one of the incidents, he realized no one was going to protect him but himself. I had to become my own adult way too early, he says. But I still hoped, every time, that my mom would be the one to finally say, "I hear you. I'll fix this." That day never came. After his disappearance and the ensuing investigation, Jace was removed from Jenelle's custody and returned to the care of his grandmother, Barbara Evans, who raised him for most of his childhood. Barbara has long been a polarizing figure on the show, criticized by some fans and hailed as a hero by others. But to Jace, she's simply Mama, the woman who, despite it all, has always shown up. She's not perfect, Jace admits, with a half smile, but she listens. She doesn't pretend stuff didn't happen. According to Jace, it was Barbara who encouraged him to tell the truth, even if it made people uncomfortable. Even if it meant standing up to his own mother. Even if it meant losing her completely. "I still love her," he says, referring to Jenelle. "That's the hardest part. People think I hate her. I don't. I just need to protect myself now." And sometimes protecting yourself means walking away from someone you wish would change. Jenelle, for her part, has denied Jace's claims. In a statement posted to her social media, she accused outside influences of poisoning Jace against her and reiterated her love for her son. She insists she did everything she could to help him, even when he lashed out or acted emotionally unstable. But Jace says that's just another lie, one of many he's tired of living under. "I'm not unstable. I'm not crazy. I'm a kid who went through too much, too fast, and now I'm trying to heal. I just wish she could admit her part in that." He's currently in therapy, playing sports, and focusing on finishing high school. He says he still gets anxious when the phone rings unexpectedly, or when he hears yelling, even on TV. But for the first time, he says he's learning how to breathe through it instead of burying it. As for the future, Jace says he has no plans to return to reality TV. "I lived in front of cameras for most of my life. I want to live behind them now. Maybe be a film editor or something. Quiet, private." But he shared his story now, publicly, because he wants other kids who feel trapped or dismissed to know they're not alone. If your home feels more like a battlefield than a safe place, that's not normal. That's not okay. And you're allowed to speak up, even if the people around you tell you not to. Even if they call you a liar. As the interview ends, Jace looks out the window. The sun is starting to set, casting a golden light over the edge of his face. He looks older than 16 in that moment. Wiser, but not broken. "My story's just starting," he says. "But at least now it's my story, not theirs."